Jack. How's it going?
Very good, thank you, Jessica.
Today I'd like to address something that I hear about a lot in the media and in books, something called emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Could you explain to me what that is exactly?
Well, it is basically how you can read what's going on around you from a emotion point of view, and from a body language point of view, and I'd like to say from a energy point of view. So it's being very aware of what's going on in the room with people, whether it's a one-on-one discussion or with a group of people.
How is emotional intelligence relevant to the sales industry?
Well, it's actually extremely relevant because, first of all, when you go into a sales conversation with a client, you really want to know what's going on in their head. And often they will obviously have a good conversation and use words during that conversation, which should lead you to something. But what is emotional intelligence is really reading what's behind those words through the way that the people are acting as far as body language and also some of the emotions that they may have. And lastly, I'd like to say the energy. Does it feel good or not good? And when you have that kind of reading on people based on different things like I just described, you're starting to read more than just the words. You're just starting to read the situation. And that is very important in sales.
So is emotional intelligence only directed towards our clients or towards the people that we're talking to?
Actually, that's a good question, and the answer is not. The emotional intelligence has got two segments to it. To me, in sales, there's the segment for the client and reading the client, but probably the most important one is the one about the salesperson, and that is managing their own emotional intelligence by being aware of their own emotions when they're at the client. Are they stressed about something during the sales call? If they are, what are they doing about it? Are they managing it or letting the stress go even higher? The people that they're managing their intelligence is the fact that they feel something coming up and they manage it and then they bring it down and they're able to proceed on their sales calls properly. So the better the salespeople are aware about their emotional intelligence, the better that they're going to be to connect with people. And as a result of it, they should have better sales results because people want to buy from people that they connect with.
Okay, so emotional intelligence is being able to understand others and understand myself properly, but how exactly do I find out if I have a good emotional intelligence?
Well, if you're able to nail down some details about how the person was during the sales calls, or even during the sales calls, you're paying attention to their eyes, to their breathing, to the way that their posture is. Are they changing posture every 2 seconds? That tells you that they're not at ease with the situation. So that is emotional intelligence that you're reading in the situation. So if you're able to pay attention to those small details, that means that you're aware of the emotional intelligence in the room. If you're not able to pay attention to those details, that just means that on the scales of 0 to 10, 10 you're very good, you're probably at 3 or 4. Now, the good thing is emotional intelligence is something that could be taught. You could train yourself. You read this book, you're going to understand clearly how to improve on your emotional intelligence. It's not something that you cannot learn. It's something you can train yourself, and they give a lot of different exercise to increase your awareness on certain things, which eventually brings your emotional intelligence to a whole different level.
And do you think that the better the emotional intelligence in a salesperson, the better the results?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because if you have great amount of emotional intelligence, that means that you're able to read the situation at the present moment, react to it, ask good questions, and eventually all those conversations will lead you into a connection with your client. And people today want to buy from people that they connect with. And that's what emotional intelligence is going to help you, is to connect the dots together with your clients.
Well, that's something I definitely want to work more on. So thank you very much for sharing this with us today.
Great. Thank you, Jessica.
Have a good day.